They should have an Iron Man award.
Yeah, well, I know who'd win it. It'd be Michael Bridges, and that's funny that you say that, um, because Michael Bridges played 83 games this year, one more game than the regular NBA season, because he got traded to the Nets, and I guess they had one more game. I don't know,
That's
whatever,
crazy. I
however
didn't
that
even know
math.
that. I had
Yeah,
no
he played
idea.
83 this year, which brings up an interesting point to bring Michael Bridges and Keegan Murray together and the offseason, kind of all tied into one. I saw a proposed trade on Bleacher Report. I think they just did like all the playoffs teams that lost in the first round. Like, here's a proposed trade for the offseason for them. And it was like Rashawn Holmes, Keegan Murray, and two future first round picks for Michael Bridges. What do you think about that trade?
I don't know. I mean, like that do the Nets even want to get rid of Bridges?
I don't know. I don't know about that situation either.
Because it's the same question with Cam Johnson. Because a lot of people are like, the Kings should go out and sign Cam Johnson. I'm like, are the Nets going to let him go? I mean,
I think he's an RFA, restricted free agent.
right.
But again, you'd have to, um, outbid the Nets at that point.
Or hope that the Nets just don't care. I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like anytime you get into that discussion, I don't know what the Nets' plans are, but if I had to assume, I mean, they traded away some of the best players in the league ever, and they got some of the more up and coming players. I mean, I feel like they're on a pretty decent track. I don't know if they'd want to do that, but if the Kings could do that, you'd be getting a legitimate two-way player that would, I mean, like, just speaking strictly, because it's like you don't want to think about getting rid of Murray because Murray's got such upside to him. But I mean, Bridges is ready to go. I mean, like, that would put you in the driver's seat right now. But I don't know. I just don't know if I ever really see that happening. I think that'd be cool, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not really sure if the Nets would do it either. I'm not really sure what they're going for right
Well,
now.
let's get rid of being reasonable and let's act like he's total, like the Nets don't give a crap and they'll
Okay, say the Nets offered us that trade. I don't know. It'd be really hard to part with Keegan Murray this
and
early.
and two firsts. Yeah,
And yeah,
no.
and two for I could part with two first and like Davion Mitchell
Yeah.
for Michael Bridges. Or I wish we just had like one other like prospect who's like, yeah, I'd be down to get rid of him, but who has enough like value. And maybe Mitchell proved himself enough in the playoffs and as a starter throughout his career, where maybe the Nets, who are on the rebuilding path at this point, it seems like, or like, oh, maybe want to take a chance on him. I don't know if that'll be enough for Michael Bridges though.
Yeah.
Because Michael Bridges had a huge second half on the Nets, um, and he showed that he can be like a star player on his own if needed to be. Or when he was on the Suns, went to the went to the finals with the Suns as like a role player and was a great role player. So he showed that he can fit like each role very well. He's just a good player, good on both sides of the ball. I think Bridges would be so good on this team. Fits the timeline. I don't know if the Kings have what it takes unless they offer three first rounders. Really, I don't know. The market's so weird nowadays. Just like so many picks are always involved in every trade now.
Yeah,
So
I wonder if you could just throw 5 second round picks, and that
yeah,
does that equate to two first round now?
yes, second
Especially if you're
rounders.
talking about a team that'd be getting Mikal Bridges. So I mean, like that's you're talking about a team that's not going to have a high pick most likely. So aren't those
Yeah,
essentially second round picks? I don't
I
know.
right. That's a good point.
And like the value of second round picks just in this trade deadline alone was interesting.
So
Ah,
high.
yeah.
I don't know why second round picks are worth so much. Like, I think drafts are getting a little deeper nowadays. You see decent guys getting picked in the second round nowadays, unlike years past. But still, I don't know.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, and honestly, the fact that McNair didn't use second round picks at the trade deadline, like, it almost makes you wonder: is he just loading those up to make a big move?
yeah,
That doesn't not really something I have an answer to. But I mean, that's the great thing about McNair is like if you listen to his uh, end of season presser last Wednesday, just non-answers galore. That's what I put in my notes. This is not like vague.
Non-answers.
Yeah, it's just vague. We'll sit down and talk about it in a couple weeks. I mean, like, to be fair, it's like the season had just ended days before. But it was funny when they're like asking Mike Brown on last Tuesday about that stuff. He's like, I'm just looking forward to riding my Harley. Like, what are you asking me these questions for?
His
So it's
Harley,
really,
Mike Brown.
he's a big motorcycle guy.
Really?
Yeah.
A helmet can fit over that noggin.
I think with that noggin, he is not required to wear a helmet. He's a hard-headed guy. But yeah, it's tough to say. But like, you know, the more and more you think about it, it's just like, if the Kings had the opportunity to get Bridges, obviously that whole thing of putting Mitchell instead of Murray in there, that's a no-brainer. But even with Murray, even with the first-round picks, I don't know. I feel like you got to go for that. I feel like Bridges is the level of player. We saw the jump he took getting basically the primary role in Brooklyn. The jump for next season's got to be huge. So I think you'd be getting one of the better players in the league. Again, a proven two-way player. And that would put you in the driver's seat in the Western Conference, I feel like.
So you would trade Murray for him? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I might regret that, but I
mean,
feel kind of okay saying that because I really don't feel like this is going to happen or even come close to. So I feel kind of free in that way, you know?
I mean, hey, like, if you asked me 2 years ago, would you trade Halliburton for Sabonis? I'd be very hesitant. But I mean, like where we are now, right? So
Yeah.
I get it. I feel like as fans, you get attached to your rookies, and you don't want to trade away a gem. I mean, Halliburton was an all-star this year and like that, but if it's going to work out for the better, it's going to work out for the better. So it's hard, people get stuck getting attached, but I don't know. That's why I like McNair. I just trust what that guy does at the end of the day.
I was just about to make that turn. I was just going to be like, and that's one of the reasons we use the phrase in McNair we trust so much.
Yeah.
Because he's proven that whatever decision he makes is at the very least level-headed and not going to hurt you. And on the plus side, it can do something like, into playoff drought, get all sorts of different young talent on this team that's oriented towards their primes coming up. I mean, whatever he wants to do.
We got the executive of the year. He won that for a reason.
Yeah, which is just so, it just seemed like even more so than Mike Brown, in my opinion, was just like, that just feels like a no-brainer.
Yeah.